So welcome to this webinar about ReachOut. I'll present you the project through a few slides, about 10 minutes, and then we'll do a demonstration. And at the beginning of the demonstration, I'll make a focus on software packaging, which is one of the steps that's required if you want to provide your software to beta testers. So I'll just start with a presentation now. So what is ReachOut? So ReachOut is a coordination and support action. It's funded by the European Commission. And our goal is to help European projects in the area of software engineering to develop market value and to reach out to their end users by developing their own beta testing campaigns. So we've got 3 partners, Fraunhofer Focus, OW2 and Usiasoft, and I myself, I'm Alexandre Lefebvre from Usiasoft. And the project duration is from January 2019 until December 2021. So we've got quite a bit of time to help other projects. Right, so so creating value for research projects means more than just producing the project deliverables. There's many more project attributes, which are listed here. I will not go in detail through them, which can also create value for the project results. So beta testing is a key phase in the software development cycle. After the initial alpha version, the beta version is what is to be tested by external end users over a short period of time. This is what beta testing campaigns is all about. Beta testing has a lot of benefits. So here are some of them. It provides a focus point that helps align the expectations of the different project partners. So typically, if you're in a collaborative research project, there's many partners, and if you focus on beta testing, that's an interesting focus point. Also, beta testing, of course, provides feedback, which can be used to increase the quality of the products. So it can provide feedback in the terms of bug reports or any other feedback to help increase the quality of the product. So beta testing enforces those necessary product attributes. So this includes necessary documentation that you have to provide for beta testers, necessary packaging. We'll look at it again in a few minutes. And other pieces of information such as support and promotion. So all of this increases the project value itself. And finally, the feedback that the beta testers can provide to you can be very useful to identify future exploitation of the project results. So in other words, for a project, the fact of being able to develop and implement its own beta testing campaign is an important milestone. It proves that the project has all that it takes to engage with external actors and to bring value to the market and develop its own ecosystem. So at ReachOut, we've developed a whole methodology, which is in 5 stages. To help all the projects implement their beta testing campaign. So there's more detail on the website. I'll show you in a minute. And so these include deciding the objectives of the campaign, the roles of the partners, preparing the software for beta testing, writing the scenario and documentation. It also means engaging with the beta testers and managing them, and in the end, analyzing the results and sharing them. So the ReachOut Beta Center provides tools and templates for each of the building blocks, and we'll show them rather than listing them here. We'll show them to you in a minute on the platform itself. So the campaign managers can register on the Beta Center. They're given their own campaign manager page from which they access the resources that are provided by ReachOut. The first thing they can do is generate a campaign page using a form that ReachOut provides, and the campaign page is automatically generated together with the associated questionnaires that the beta testers will be able to fill in to provide their feedback. We also provide campaign managers with a monitoring dashboard. So the monitoring dashboard is a 24 checkpoint dashboard about the management, about the preparation, and about the execution of the campaign. This dashboard can be used to monitor the progress of the campaign together with a ReachOut project team. It can also be used to communicate with your project partners and with the reviewer from the commission. So typically, a beta testing campaign would take 3 to 5 months. The first phase of preparation is about 1 to 2 months. The execution is about 1 to 2 months, and finally, we leave 1 month for analyzing the results. So while the campaign itself, so before the campaign itself was launched, just allow yourself a little bit of time to prepare all the necessary elements so that the campaign is ready for beta testers. Right, so how do you get started? The first step is to go to the ReachOut project webpage and register your project, and then the ReachOut project team will set up a call with you to go through the methodology, go through your timeline, and help you implement the beta testing campaign. There's one important point that even though the ReachOut has been funded by the Commission to help H2020 project, it's also open to all European SMEs and to all open source projects. So if you have an open source project, or if you're not part of an H2020 project, but you're an European SME, you can also benefit from the ReachOut help. And one important point as well is that all of this is free. So ReachOut is funded by the Commission to help the projects for free. So everything that we're showing is free, which is interesting. So let's now have a look at the actual beta center. So so this is the beta center itself. Let's just accept the cookies here. Right, so on the beta center, you can find the ReachOut methodology, which I was mentioning. So the ReachOut methodology page will show you a set of slides, which is a superset of the ones I've just presented to you. And the methodology itself is available as a PDF document. It contains all the elements that I was mentioning. So these include a number of sections, such as, well, an introduction, how to run a campaign, all the different activities. It describes the platform as well. So this is a useful document that you can refer to during the campaign itself. And also we provide a number of tools and templates that I was mentioning. So we'll see the dashboard in a minute. And today's focus is on software packaging. So regarding software packaging, the main message here is that it's very important for the beta testers to be allowed to access your software that's to be tested as easily as possible. So it should be easy to access, and easy to deploy. So in the case of a SaaS platform, it should be easy to find an account, and it should be easy to be able to connect to the platform. If it's a piece of software that has to be installed, the packaging is very important. It should be as easy as possible to install it. So it's happened to us. So the ReachOut project team in the past, we were involved in a project called AppHub, and we had to install various software from research projects. So sometimes only the source code was available without any instructions, so it was quite difficult to find out what to do with it. Sometimes the code was available as well as binaries, but the binaries required some complex prerequisites, which might not even exist anymore at the time where we're trying to install it. And sometimes there were compilation instructions that were available, but in a number of cases we were unable to compile because some libraries didn't exist anymore or the instructions were incorrect. So it's very important that the software that you want your beta tester to access be easily accessible. So in case you haven't packaged it, so Docker images are a good way. As I said, SaaS platforms are a good way. And so with ReachOut, we also make available to you something that we call the ReachOut Factory. So the ReachOut Factory is a tool. Let's just open it now. It's a tool which allows any user to package the software as what we call an appliance template. So an appliance template is a model of your application, and this model contains metadata about the operating system. So that would be which operating system you choose to package your software with. Let me just log in here. and also this is where you put your binaries. So in the ReachOut Factory, each user has an app section. In this app, you can create, you can assemble. This is the little diagram here. You can assemble your template with the choice of operating system, your binaries, and the application. And then either you stay here, that is, you export this template, and that's what we will make available to beta testers who can use the factory to generate the image of their choice, or you can pre-generate an image of any choice. So, for example, you can choose here to create a template of a particular version. Let's just say I choose this operating system here, and when I've created it, I select minimal as a profile, and there it is. So at the moment, I've only got the operating system with the profile, so I haven't got the application in it. So say if I want to add my application for my project, I can add what we call a software. So a software is where you will put your binaries. So say my binary, and I just create that one. And in the software itself, I can add a number of files here. So I can put anything that I want to. So I could it doesn't. So for the example, I will just choose to put the ReachOut logo in it, which doesn't make much sense, but it doesn't really matter. And once I've done it, I can go back to my appliance library, go to my template, and choose the software. So at the moment, I want this binary to be added to my project, and that's it. So once I've done this, I can generate a machine image of a number of types, so cloud image or container image, or maybe an ISO image or a virtual image. So say, for example, VirtualBox. And this VirtualBox image, once I've generated it, is something that I can make available to the beta testers as an example. If I don't want to pre-generate a particular image, I can click this export button, and this will export my template, that is the metadata about the operating system together with the binaries. And this you could make available to beta testers, and then they can access themselves the factory and choose the format that they would prefer to generate the image for. So that's about it about software packaging itself. So now let's get started with the demonstration. So if I go back to the ReachOut homepage, typically what I want to do here is I'm a project leader, and I would like to put my campaign on ReachOut. So how do I do this? I self-service register. So to register, you need to put your name. You need to give an email here. So let's just have a test email for this webinar. I select where I come from. I can choose my my username here, and I just put a password. Right, and I read the consent, so trust me, and I can now register on the platform. So when the registration is done, I have received on my personal email here an access code. So I just go to my inbox, and I can see that I have an activation link. So I click on the activation link, and it tells me now that that's it. I can log in. So I'll just input the login again and the password, and that's it. Did I click? Yes. So I'm taken to a page now, and on this page it tells me that the first thing I have to do is to register my project. So let's just say that today I have a project which is called the ReachOut webinar. So I create this project, and in this project I have to give a URL. So let's say that the URL is the ReachOut project itself. I can choose a logo. So let's just use that ReachOut logo again. And I can give a short description. So I'll just prepare it and a longer description. So this is what beta testers will see. So you just basically here put some information about your project. So it looks like this. And this is what the beta testers will see on the ReachOut platform. Then what I can do is I can create a campaign. So when you create a campaign, we generate questions based on the type of software, whether it's SaaS, mobile. So in the case of ReachOut, let's say it's SaaS or none of the above, meaning platform. So here we're a SaaS project. So let's just call the campaign testing the ReachOut platform, and I can create the campaign. So this creates an object with a form which I can fill in. So you fill in all the elements, like the start date. Let's say it starts today. The end date, it will end at the end of July. You can give an estimation of how long it's going to take for the beta testers, to give them a hint on how much time they should prepare. So you describe the objectives of the campaign. You provide the requirements for the campaign. So if the beta testers need to pre-install something, or if they need to have a particular operating system. Also for the beta testers, you tell them whether there should be more developers or more business users. So in the case of ReachOut, it's open to any, and it should be open to beginners. But for some pieces of software, you can choose that it's only for advanced developers or intermediate business users or whatever. So these are indications for beta testers looking for campaigns to what level of knowledge and of skills is expected from them. The next step is to provide a detailed scenario. So it's very important to provide a scenario as detailed as possible. So typically what you want your beta testers to know what to do. If you just say, please test my software, the risk will be that you will not get very detailed or very interesting feedback. Whereas if you tell them, please create a user, go to this screen, do this action, then you will be able also to ask questions which are relevant to what they've done. So it's important to give them a story to do when they do the testing. And finally, you can provide incentives for your campaign. So this test one doesn't provide any. So typical incentives could be rewards for the beta testers for their efforts. A simple reward is just acknowledging them. So maybe putting their name on your website. So at ReachOut, we will anyway have a Hall of Fame. So the most active beta testers will appear on the ReachOut platform. However, if in your project you have project goodies such as t-shirts or mugs or pens, you can also reward them with this. And finally, at ReachOut, we will have a quote ReachOut Super Lottery with a prize at the end of ReachOut. So now I save the campaign. So behind the scene, what this does is it creates the campaign form itself. At the moment, the campaign is not published, so it's not currently public. You can still edit it as a campaign manager, and also you can customize and activate the questionnaire. So before we do this, we'll have a quick look at the campaign dashboard. So as I said earlier, campaign dashboard is a self-assessment tool that helps you follow the progress of the platform. So it follows the methodology. And it's got 3 sections: 1 the management, 2 the preparation, and 3 the execution. So typically in this exercise that I'm doing live now, I should be quite advanced in the management and preparation. So let's just have a quick look. So filling in the dashboard is something that you can do all by yourself. We've provided all the tooltips here for each of the questions. However, we as the ReachOut project team are quite happy to follow the dashboard with you and set up a session to be able to explain the different elements. So let's say in my case, the goal is clear, the scope is clear, my partners are informed, I've got a campaign manager, I've got a contact super point. Have I appointed my internal beta test as well, maybe not. I know which beta testers I want, which is the project leaders or campaign managers, more like it. Have I defined the incentives? Yes. Have I got a testing scenario? Is my software packaged? And have I tested it beforehand? Is the download link available? Have I got the scenario again? Is the documentation available? Have I developed my questionnaire? Well, actually not. I'm relying at the moment on the one that's generated by ReachOut. I haven't customized it. Is the fine prints ready? So yes, we have fine prints on the ReachOut platform, which is available here, which you can actually reuse if you want to. So the fine print covers basically all the information related to GDPR, which is important, and all the responsibilities of everybody. So you can make reference to these ones. And have I defined a communication package to reach out to my beta testers as well? No, I haven't yet. And none of the rest is, I haven't done anything on this yet, so it's because the campaign's not live. So let's just save the dashboard. And now we can see that I've got a dashboard that looks like I've got some work to do on the preparation management phase, and I haven't executed the campaign yet. So if I go back to my campaign now, the next thing to do is to look at the questionnaire that's been generated by ReachOut and to decide whether I need to customize it. So I just go here to customize and activate the questionnaire. So it's asking me to log in. So I will just log in with the same username as I have provided earlier, and it takes me to the campaign page, which is the one that that has been generated by the ReachOut platform. So we've tried to make the questionnaire as generic as possible. So let's just have a list of the question groups, which is quite a good way to describe the questions. So there's let's look at the structure actually. So there's a number of questions. There's a couple of questions about setting up. So did you manage to access and set up the software, and how would you rate the software setup? There's another set of questions about functional feedback. So about whether the beta testers was able to go through the scenario. For each question, you can preview them. You can preview the entire survey, and you can preview each question. So if I preview this question, the question says currently, given the following the steps in the scenario, were you able to execute function X, enter your data, and execute function Y, and sees the results of function Z? So these are all to be customized. So I can here customize it by editing the sub questions. So for example, in the case of my demonstrations, were you able to register on ReachOut? Were you able to create your project and campaign? And the other one is, were you able to customize the questionnaire? So now I can save and close. And if I now preview this question, I can see that the question corresponds to what I've just done, and it's okay for my scenario. So and so forth and so on. So there's a number of questions that we've grouped in section. You can add questions, you can delete questions. So it's all customizable. And when you're happy about it, well, what you can do here is to activate the survey. So activating the survey will make the survey live. So let's just wait for the operation to happen. And when the survey is live, it will be visible also on the ReachOut platform. So if I go back to the ReachOut platform here, and so I'm logged in, so I should be able to go to my home page again. So on my home page now, I can see that the campaign's live. So before I had this campaign's not active yet. I've got a little Twitter button if I want to use it to be able to tweet about the fact that my campaign's live. And so this is the campaign manager view. and also a campaign mailing list has been created for me. So if I now open another window, I go here on ReachOut as a beta tester, so as another user. What I'll be able to see is different campaigns. So if I navigate to the campaigns, I can see that there's a ReachOut webinar campaign, so which is this one. And as a beta tester, if I want to, I can go to the questionnaire, which is the one that we've just seen now, and I can fill in the answer to all the questions. So let's just do it very quickly. So if I do this, did I manage? Yes. Did I manage to do everything? Yes, I did. Does it fit in, etc.? So let's just fill it in. Again, some of the questions are compulsory, some of them are not. These are attributes that you can, as a campaign manager, that you can change. So everything's customizable. Right. So once the beta tester has filled in all the questions, we will be able to see on the campaign manager side what those answers are in terms of statistics. Also, the campaign manager will be able to receive an email for each answer that's been sent. Right here, I don't want to provide my email. Let's just submit. Right, so it's now submitted. And if I go back to being the campaign manager now, what I can do is I can go back here and I can see the responses and statistics. So I can view now that about the statistics here. There's several modes for exposing the statistics, but I can show them in the simple mode. So in the simple mode, I can see that there's one answer that's arrived with all the different answers here. I can export the answers as well. And if I go back to my mailbox, I can see that I have a response submission which has been sent to me for each of the answers. So that's how typically that's how the campaign manager can follow on. And of course, we as the ReachOut project team will be helping with the follow-up of the campaign itself. Right. So I think that's about it for the demonstration. So the conclusion now is that don't hesitate to go to ReachOut. Don't hesitate to register. Or if you require more help, or we can also provide presentation during your project meeting, whether a plenary meeting or in a restricted meeting with your project team. So typically, the team in your project who's involved about testing the software. So that's things that we've done in the past, and that's things where it can help. And so don't hesitate. It's all free. So, and we're here to help you.